What's going on, guys? It's J-Ho bringing you a brand new video, and today I'm going to show you guys my top 5 favorite legendary weapons from Destiny 1. So with Destiny 1 coming to a close and Destiny 2 rapidly approaching, I wanted to do a top 5 video for Destiny 1. So I do plan on doing more top 5 videos leading up to the release of Destiny 2. But anyways, for this video specifically, we're going over my top 5 favorite legendary weapons from Destiny 1. A quick disclaimer before I get into the top 5. This is based on all my opinions. This is not based on the top 5 best weapons in Destiny 1. This is not the top 5 best looking weapons. It's all based on my top 5 personal favorite, and basically what I rated them on was how it felt using these weapons. These are my top 5 favorite legendary weapons that I enjoyed using in Destiny 1, and I also based it a little bit on efficiency, how good it was in certain activities as well. And then one last thing, I did not include raid weapons in this top 5 because I felt like raid weapons deserve its own category. So these are legendary weapons in Destiny 1 excluding raid weapons. So starting at the number 5 spot, we got the Hung Jury Scout Rifle from Dead Orbit. So this is my number 5 favorite weapon to use. It is a lot of fun, one of my favorite scout rifles ever in Destiny 1 entirely. It was really good, especially the vendor roll that was sold initially in the release of the Taken King. That roll was really good, and it was really effective in every PvE type of activity in general, so I really enjoyed using that weapon. It came with Firefly, it came with Triple Tap. It was an amazing weapon, it felt good too. It wasn't the hardest hitting scout rifle out of all these scout rifles, but it was very reliable, and I always took it into some hard PvE encounters for the first time, such as the King's Fall raid and the Wrath of the Machine raid. So it was very reliable. I really enjoyed using the Hung Jury, and that is my number 5 favorite legendary weapon. And then moving on to my number 4 favorite legendary weapon, it is the Matador 64 shotgun. So this is by far one of my favorite shotguns in Destiny 1 overall. I remember back when Fellwinter's Lie first came out in year 1 of Destiny 1. It was such a powerful weapon, and Shot Package made it even more ridiculous. And then House of Wolves came along, and that's when we got introduced to Party Crasher and Matador 64, which was pretty much another version of the Fellwinter's Lie. It was pretty equivalent. They just had some different stats that differentiated them a little bit, but overall they were similar in terms of being high impact shotguns. And the Matador was my favorite one. It just stuck out for me, and I really enjoyed using it back in year 1 trials when blink shotgunning was the meta, so it was really fun. I really enjoyed the Matador 64, whether you take the version from year 1 of House of Wolves or the current version that they brought back in Rise of Iron. Both are very good, both are pretty similar, and both were top of its class, so I just really enjoyed this shotgun overall, mainly because of its functionality. It did get the job done. I know it was very annoying for a lot of people to play against, but it was very effective, which is why a lot of people were using it in various points in Destiny 1's lifespan. So Matador 64 is my number 4 favorite legendary weapon. Moving on to my number 3 favorite legendary weapon, it is the LDR 5001 sniper rifle. So back in year 1, this sniper rifle came out, and then they brought it back along with some other year 1 weapons that you could only earn from opening up Vanguard or Crucible reward packages. And then I finally got one in a package once they brought it back. I actually never got a chance to play with it back in year 1. I wasn't lucky enough to get a good drop on the LDR 5001. But I finally got a bunch of drops of it from different packages that I opened up, and I just fell in love with this sniper rifle. I always liked high impact sniper rifles in general, and I do like sniping a lot. I really cling towards sniping instead of shotgunning because I just enjoy the satisfaction of sniping in a Crucible from Destiny 1. So LDR was pretty much my go-to sniper. Used it in PvE activities, used it in PvP activities. It was overall one of my favorite weapons to use for any activity in Destiny 1 because it just got the job done all the time, and it was very fun and satisfying to use. The LDR I used specifically did have hidden hand on it to enhance the aim assist on it, but overall I just like the feel of this weapon. It was very snappy and very comfortable to use as a sniper rifle, so that's why I enjoyed the LDR 5001. And then moving on to my number 2 favorite legendary weapon, it is the Eyasluna hand cannon. So a lot of people can probably agree that Eyasluna was one of the most sought after legendary weapons in Destiny 1 once it came into the game. And Eyasluna was a very fun weapon to use. One of my favorite hand cannons, if not my favorite one to use overall. It was a very good weapon. If you got really good perks on it, it was very powerful in Crucible especially. Unfortunately, I was never lucky enough to get a god roll of this or a perfect roll that had rangefinder and rifled barrel on it. However, I did get some with rifled barrel. I did get some with just rangefinder, and they were still pretty good overall. Not the perfect roll, but still very comfortable to use. Very good at long distances if you have some range perks on it, and it was just very satisfying as a hand cannon and felt just really comfortable to use in both Crucible and even PvE sometimes if I felt like using a hand cannon. And then finally, for my number 1 favorite legendary weapon from Destiny 1, it is the Hawksaw pulse rifle. So the Hawksaw was actually my very first legendary weapon that I got when the Taken King came out. It was the very first legendary weapon that I got as a drop from an engram that I opened up. And it actually had one of the best rolls, if not the perfect roll in my opinion, and it had the main perk of counterbalance on it. And from then on, I kept this weapon. I actually almost dismantled it at one point in time because I didn't know if it was going to be a good weapon or not, and it ended up being one of the best pulse rifles in the game, especially in the beginning of Taken King when pulse rifles were dominant in the Crucible meta, and they kind of had to tweak pulse rifles a little bit after that. So it was one of my favorite weapons to use since then, and I kept it and always infused it as one of my first weapons I used to infuse whenever the light level increased. So it was one of my favorite weapons of all time in Destiny 1. I just loved using it. It felt very comfortable. It had a good fire rate in my opinion, and because of my specific counterbalance perk that I got on it for the first drop, it was really good. I never had to worry about the side-to-side recoil or sway on it. It always only had up and down or vertical recoil on it, and I never had to compensate for that sideways movement. So that's why it was really good to use. I used it even in some PvE activities when I was leveling up and I wasn't high enough level for high level content. So overall, I just really enjoyed pulse rifles, and out of all the pulse rifles, this was my favorite one to use by far. And I did enjoy hand cannons. I was mainly a hand cannon and pulse rifle type of guy, and this and the Eyasluna were my main go-to primaries, and that's why I put them in my number 1 and 2 spots on this list. So anyways, that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you guys want to let me know what your guys' top 5 favorite legendary weapons are, you can leave them down below in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear what your guys' top 5 favorites are from Destiny 1 as well, so let me know. That's about it once again. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!